Hey, what's going on? This is the Hourglass.
I'm Slick.
I'm Fro, and we are here to talk hip-hop as usual. Every Friday at 7 o'clock, we'll be posting new videos on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're going to start off talking about some of the bigger artists in today's music and some of the trending artists and some of the not so trending artists that we think should be. So, off top, I'd say we have people like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, and then you have older vets like Jay-Z and such that aren't so big to like the younger kids nowadays. But you have to at least give them their props because they're still relevant. Would you agree? Now, who do you think?
I would say they're relevant.
When you think top 5 MCs today, who comes to mind?
I mean...
And I'm talking relevancy. People that rap right now.
Ooh, relevancy, huh? Well, Kendrick getting the Pulitzer Prize should probably be thrown in the mix, I would imagine. Not to say like that's surprising or I don't like Kendrick, because he's the man and all, but I'm saying, throw the motherfucker in the mix.
Yeah. And I have to bring up, this can't necessarily just be people that we like, it has to be people that are popular. So there's a lot of artists that
whether we like them or not.
Yeah, I know that changes the conversation because I mean it does, because you have people like the Migos and Lil Uzis and Lil Yachty's that aren't necessarily our kind of music.
Yeah,
and
Tekashi's.
Then you have people like Joyner Lucas and Logic and Brother Ali's and stuff like that, or Locksmiths that are good MCs that don't get.
Well, how do you feel about throwing like a King Los in the mix? Is that, or a Joyner Lucas? Is that like they're both active right now. They're not mainstream, but they're killing it. If you ever push play on any one of their fucking videos or any one of their songs, you're gonna be like, whoo, the fuck?
No, I agree. I think that Joyner is top 3 to me. People want to compare him to Logic all the time, but I don't think there's much of a comparison when it comes down to the two of them. One can rap really well. One can rap really well and tell stories really well.
I mean, that's no secret who that is. Joyner Lucas is probably I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's probably like the slickest storyteller in hip hop. You know what I mean? Like he makes you want to watch it. I mean, let's look at.
And how do you feel about
I'm not racist. Mm-hmm. Let's look at what was the one with the bank robbery. What was that video? Bank robbery. Okay. Let's look at the fucking Cappuccino Kid or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm. Rob Cappuccino.
Yeah, I mean, these are all. I mean, if you haven't watched any of these, fucking do yourself a favor and get online, YouTube, put in one of those. Just put in Joyner Lucas and look at the guy's fucking videos. They're amazing.
You don't have to like copy to like Rob Cappuccino.
No. Bro, with the funny guy over here.
Anyway, so Kendrick's an obvious choice though. So would you put Kendrick in your top 3? Top 3 best rappers alive?
Alive?
Yeah.
Active?
Active. Yeah.
Actively alive? I'd put him in my 5 for absolute sure. Absolutely. Active, alive, relevant. Sure, absolutely. Top 5.
Okay. What do you where do you put
He said, yeah. Who?
Where do you put Joyner Lucas in?
I mean, as like a rapper, all the elements, I mean, when you lay it all out and you judge who your favorite rapper is and you break them all down and all that stuff, to put him in my top 5, it's a hard task to do. I'm not the typical current day hip hop head who listens to rappers with their first name Lil, or you know what I mean. I can't do the little Uzi Verts. I can't do the little Pumps. I can't do the Tekashi 6ix9s. I can't do that. I mean, I'm not knocking them for doing what they do.
He's not hating. He's not trying to hate. I know people are going to write that off.
It's not my style.
As hating, but he's not hating. Sometimes you just don't like what other people like.
On top of a nasty, grimy beat, even a smooth, just beat, I need substance. I need delivery. Substance and lyricism go hand in hand. Delivery. I need you to be talking to me and saying something. I don't want all that filler, because it's really easy to be a filler rapper.
Okay, so with that being said, I know you have different tastes in music than I'd say mainstream people do, or majority. So who would you put in your top 3? I know it's not an easy thing to do, but loosely, who's your top 3?
Active relevancy. I mean,
I'm super curious to hear this.
it's really hard to do. I've never, because of how little I listen to mainstream radio or mainstream music, it's really hard to put them in my top anything for the fact that I have a different expectation of music than maybe the younger class, or just the easier to please class, you know?
Yeah, but
I have expectations, so Kendrick has got to be mentioned. He has to, because in my eyes,
he's remarkable.
He's remarkable, and in my eyes, you guys are all gonna hate me for saying this, but I think Jay-Z is not all that in a bag of chips.
Oh.
And not that he's not good, but I mean, fucking Jay-Z, man. Is he in my top 5? No.
Nah.
Is he relevant? No. Is he remarkable? Yeah. He's done a lot. He's achieved a lot, and like the person that he is today, hats off to you. With that being said, are you in my top 5? No. Ahead of you in top 5, I mean, even though he's not relevant as far as being active, Eminem would have to go in there.
Yeah, because let's be honest. Like, as much as like relevancy is a big part of this, you still got to go off like pure talent. So if you're talking about like who the best are, like I always bring up like how.
It doesn't have to be mainstream.
No, it does not. So we're not going off numbers here. So you can do like, because we all know how good Royce is.
Absolutely. He is somebody that I wanted to bring up and throw in my list so bad, but I was throwing in the mix too much with like mainstream. Because if you're gonna throw that into the mix, now you're being a real fucking asshole, and you gotta start thinking of people like Khan. Do you guys know who Khan is? Probably fucking not. Hip hop heads. That's funny. K-A-A-N. Look at that dude. He's fucking fire. I mean, you gotta look at like Locksmith. He's not a mainstream guy. I'm pretty sure that nowadays more people are a little more familiar with him. If you're not, get there. A big bursting on the scene, taking fucking full grip of it is NF, and he's a youngster, and he is a phenomenal rapper. But
and what about Crook?
Crooked I is one of my favorite just rappers in general. But I mean, I could say Crooked
You don't hear that much from
No,
him.
I could say Crooked I in a group of people, and a lot of people are not going to know who I'm talking about. And the same people are hip-hop heads, quote unquote, but they will not know who Crooked I is. Not all the time, but I'm saying I do experience the lack of knowledge.
I opened a show for Crooked I. You were there. And this cat had less people, remember, as the headliner than I did right before him.
It was incredible. Another great example is
It just showed
Emilio
you.
Rojas. a guy who is like a phenomenal, I'll go out there and say phenomenal rapper. He can rap very, very good.
Yep.
But you'll look at one of his songs, a fire song, and it'll have like 1,000 fucking views.
Yeah.
I went to a show with him and Dizzy Wright, and nobody fucking knew who he was.
Dizzy was on that show?
But the greatest part about that was I got to sit there and have a genuine conversation with the dude that I was genuinely a fan of before going to that show. I was so excited to go to that show because I'm a fan of both of those cats, Dizzy Wright and Emilio Rojas, but nobody was over there trying to talk to him or buy merch. So I had like a personal fucking one-on-one with the dude, and like, we're not talking names like Jay-Z or whatever, but if you're not on your fucking hip-hop game, then look up Emilio Rojas. And like, that dude should be, he should be in a place higher than he's in now, whether it be ranking, acknowledgement, however you have to put it. He should be like higher
He's a
up.
really good rapper. He's got a real butter flow. Like it's effortless. Like you ever heard somebody sing and it seems like they're not even trying?
Right.
Really
It seems like if you were to talk to him, like we're talking right now, it seems like he would be talking just the same way that he's rapping. Like he would be chopping, breaking it up. Like you would be talking to him, and he would be.
And Vamonos,
You know?
Vamonos is fire. So go check out
look
Vamonos.
I think of like Champion. I'm like, there's all kinds of songs from him that are just fire.
Well,
And
Champion had big name people on it besides him, right?
That's a remix.
So why didn't he blow up when he got that opportunity? Because at some point, Emilio actually was out there and working with big name people, but never blew up. And you can't say it's because he's not good. So
I just think he
why did it
wasn't.
not
I just
work?
think he wasn't willing to sign that big or that major dotted line. You know, he wasn't willing to give himself up. To give up all of his creative control, to give up all that shit to be a puppet rapper. I think he was like, nah, fuck that, I can rap. And you can tell in his music where you see that switch where he was fucking killing everything. And then all of a sudden he started coming out with these mainstream kind of appealing songs where there was like a lot more gun bars or like hoes and bitches and cars and more material things, where he veered away from that hip hop fucking kill everything in every kind of style to like, fuck, if that's not working, I'm gonna try to appease people with this same way these other bullshit guys are doing it and see if they grab a hold. And I don't think it worked, so you see him kind of veer back to his roots and like, he's back to killing shit again. I mean,
which is good, but I think we can both agree that like the more raw and true you stay to yourself, the less chance you have.
do you know what would be a great move for him? A great move for him, rap-wise, is Strange Music. Would be a fantastic home for him.
No, I agree. He's got that kind of flow, like.
And just the vibe with all those guys. Like,
sure.
I think he can click with all of them. I think he can make a song with anybody in there and it'd be fire. And I think if you want one of those fucking songs like you're used to with Tech Nine and Ritz and Recognize and fucking Chris Calico and all those guys ripping it, Emilio Rojas can rip it like all of them can.
Now, does Tech Nine or does Strange in general even have any New York artists? No. I don't think they do.
I don't think so.
No, Seth's and them. I don't think Seth's crew or.
I didn't know they're Missouri cats.
Yeah, Ritz, Atlanta.
And he's gone though. He's not in Strange
Ritz
anymore.
ain't there anymore. They got.
Besides,
Yeah, really. No, these are mostly Southern cats.
they're all Southern cats. Besides, no, Murs. He's a West Coast cat.
Yeah.
Hey, you like that? Came out of left field. Y'all forgot about Murs. Little backpacking ass motherfucker. But he is.
I think Rhyme's there.
music.
I think Rhyme's there. But you're right. He's definitely Strange music nowadays. So.
Yeah. But I mean, factually, you have to know that he made that move, and he is technically Rhymesayers right now, which is.
Not Rhymesayers.
I'm sorry, not Rhymesayers. Strange Music. He is right now Strange Music, which you can't be mad at.
Speaking of
it's diversity.
Speaking of Rhymesayers, do you think if you say that like right now, like to the camera.
No millennial's gonna know what the
Does
fuck.
anybody know who that is? Like what?
No, and if you were to say Slug,
like that's crazy.
nobody's gonna know who Slug is.
So
you might be able to be like Atmosphere, and when I mean nobody, I don't mean like hip hop heads like Fro and I mean like millennials who were like, oh Takashi, oh whatever. I mean like fucking. You're not gonna know.
it's facts. Like so, back in the day, like if
You're not
you
gonna
were a
know who
hip hop head,
exists.
if you were into hip hop, like not mainstream,
Graceful.
but like hip hop, and you liked, you know, anything that was underground, you liked, you know, Ant Slug or Atmosphere. You liked Brother Ali. You liked Idea. That was the stuff, and those all came from even Blueprint. They all came from. Rhymesayers, and Rhymesayers was an independent label started by Slug himself, and it grew into like an empire. What he did is he signed every act that you like see through come through town, like do these little club tours.
Yeah.
Everybody that he saw hustling, doing their circuits, he just said, screw it, you have the hustle and the grind, come with us. So then he signed like 50 people to one label, and then was kind of distributing, but nobody was making a ton of money. He was helping people get known, but nobody was making a ton of money. And so that's why like people like Brother Ali, who probably should have been
humongous,
huge, end up being subpar big,
right.
Not necessarily.
And if you don't know who the fuck Brother Ali is, I'll do it for you. Smack. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You know who's another good example of that is Stone Throw Records.
Yeah, another true hip hop label. Like,
Very true to just the art form of music itself, because there's more than just hip hop in that label, and it's not all about
like Raucous, same kind.
Yeah, it's not all about like give me your fucking firstborn and like every album you drop you make a penny and I make $1 million because I'm the shit. It's all about like let's push like your passion.
So do you remember who my old favorite hip hop group was back in the day?
Oh, Cunnilingus?
Yeah, look at that.
The
You didn't
best
have to
hip
think
hop
about
group
it.
ever.
You didn't have to think about it. So like back in the day, Cunnilingus was basically like the most consistent underground hip hop group to me because DJ No made all the beats.
DJ No was fire.
And all the production was so good, and the rappers were really good. I think it was Charisma, and I can't remember other dudes' names. Sorry.
They were just so slick. You know what I mean?
That's right. But they were filthy, and they came out of Atlanta. But then, like, next thing you know, you don't hear about these guys at all. I have no idea what they're doing nowadays, but I miss the shit out of those guys. So, shout out to Cunnilingus, because those guys are like true hip hop, and you don't ever hear their name brought up. But if we're talking about dopest artists, I'd also like to bring Ritz to the table.
Ritz is absolutely, I can't even believe I forgot to bring him in the conversation. He is the most consistent, underrated, beat-killing,
He's a machine.
fucking rapping machine there is currently in hip-hop. And if you do not believe me, I'm here to debate.
Well, it's like this. If you like double time rapping, like you like people to rap fast, that's great. Like a lot of people can do that nowadays. It's not as impressive as like when Twisted was just ripping people's faces off. Everyone's like, oh my god, who does that? So it's not like that anymore. A lot of people can rap fast, double time. So it's not as like, uncommon as before.
But when you sing on your shit,
yeah, well, you do all your
rap
hooks
slow and you do all that shit.
And
He
you
does all
can
that.
change it up. And if you listen to everything Ritz says, he's saying something. He's a storyteller. His shit's filthy all the time, and he's like got crazy messages in his music. So if you listen, it sounds like he spends months writing this shit.
And
so,
live, he does not rap over his lyrics. And he is super fucking smooth and clear. You can hear every fucking word. So that guy, I mean, I don't even know why that wasn't the first guy I brought up. Because he is the most underrated rapper there probably ever, period.
top 3?
Yes. He is in my top 3.
There you have it. We found one.
Yep. He is my top 3. Because I mean, find somebody who song after song after song after song, every fucking song is a banger. You like it. You don't skip a song. There's not a song you're like, oh, I fucking hate that Ritz song. Ever. Find one. We'll debate. We'll talk about it.
And, I felt like Strange is a good label for him, but I believe he was getting his own production anyway from his own producer. So if that's the case, you won't hear a change in his music, which is good, because that was my biggest concern. Is I don't want him to leave Strange and then start making different sounding music, because what I like about him so much is his sound. If he changes that, that's gonna ruin Rich for me, because it's not just his rapping. He's got a great sound.
He can go from like a trap beat to like the smoothest fucking hip hop beat and destroy both of them equally, and you're like, fuck.
And you know what? I feel like
and sing his own hook through the whole thing, and he don't have a fucking writer like Drake or one of them bitches that you guys are like, oh my god, fucking Drake's in my top 3. Kill yourself. Kill yourself.
Okay, now wait. Before we continue, I have to say, me and his opinion on Drake are different. Now, listen.
I didn't say he was not a good rapper.
Listen.
Top 3, kill yourself.
Listen. I definitely think Drake is not a top 5 to me. He's not the best there is. He's definitely not the greatest of all time or anything like that. Now, do I give Drake his credit? Yes, I do.
Is he top 5? Is he top 3?
No.
I rest my case.
No.
Gun goes back in neutral territory.
It's not top 5 either. But I just wanted to put it out there, my disclaimer, before we continue on with any more episodes, that I'm not one of the Drake haters. There's a lot of those Drake haters.
Let me clarify.
I'm not one.
Musically, music in general, do your thing, Drake. But when you step into hip hop and rap,
just don't sing. Just don't sing.
You ain't because man.
Don't sing.
You ever heard him spit some shit he wrote himself?
He said it.
I'll wait.
I didn't disagree, but he said it.
It's boo-boo butter. It's dookie. It's dumpster juice.
So here's the thing.
I mean, you can't fucking take anything away from the dude who's like a multi-millionaire entertainer.
So listen, he's right. Like, there's things about Drake that like I just can't respect. And the fact is, like, as a writer myself, I can't sit here and just be like, oh, touche, everyone else wrote your music for you and not you, like, blah, blah, blah. But I will say this cat taught me personally that it's not really what you say, it's how you say it. So you can bring simplicity to the table and still say it in like a certain way and sell it. It's like selling anything, like selling cars. You can sell lyrics. So a lot of times you might, oh, that's not that good. It ain't that good, but you can sell it really well. Like people are like, damn, that shit's fire. You break it down, me and you both know it ain't fire.
You hear what he's saying? That's y'all's fault.
It is. It really is.
That's giving somebody a pass.
It is.
That ain't. At the end with it, fool.
At the end of the day, it's like to and fro. You know what I mean? You have to learn that music nowadays is not as good as it used to be, bro. It's not. It's just not. You have to.
Can I say something before? The 90s was the best era for everything. Music. Fucking movies. Fucking everything. And all you little young motherfuckers who don't even know what the 90s were like.
Now, like,
check your shit.
You ever heard of Jodeci?
They ain't never heard of Jodeci. Not never.
You ever heard of KRS-One?
Not never. Maybe KRS-One.
Maybe.
You ever heard of... You ever heard of Yuck Mouth? You ever heard of...
Yeah, they have. No, they heard of Loonies. They haven't heard of Yuck Mouth.
You ever heard of RBL Posse?
Nah, man, that's way too deep.
You ever heard of...
Lynch, huh?
The Dog Pound?
Think they know who Brother
You
Lynch
ever heard
is?
of X-Rated? You ever heard of, I mean, Jesus
211?
Christ.
11-5?
Nah. You guys,
Mac Mall?
they're like, what the fuck you call me? No,
Who's Mall?
you guys are fucking on all the lils.
Listen, what he's trying to tell you is music's not the same as it used to be. We have to somehow figure out how to make good music again. We've gotten so dumbed down to all we care about is someone repeating the same thing over and over again and then over a sick beat with some cool 808s and some nice crisp hi-hats. I get it. I make beats. I get it. That's what people like. It is what it is. But at one point, people were actually saying something in music. It was actually pretty good. Hip-hop actually was nice. I used to use it to change people's perspective because people would be like, I hate rap music. I could show them something that was so good, like
Outcast.
Yeah, and they would like it. Music. They'd be like, "Fuck it, hip hop's good." Yeah, I told you, it's not all bad.
I think we need to reword that into it is the expectations of music that are fucked off. You lazy motherfuckers settle for something catchy or something.
Tell them.
I don't know, man. Something trendy. You don't listen for the fucking. You don't listen for like the bass. You don't listen for like the snare. You don't listen for like the message. You don't listen for the wordplay. You listen for the A and the and you listen to.
You can repeat.
They don't
everything.
even rhyme sometimes, and y'all give them the pass. Now I'm just saying.
I got a can in my hand. A can in my hand. Can in my hand. A can in my hand.
Oh, he's so slick with it.
Dude, I killed that, right? Was that
Right.
was
Quavo style.
that, was that Liddy?
Liddy.
So a lot of people know that Locksmith is like one of my favorite rappers. I think if you know me, you know that man's been a big influence on me. Doing the show with that guy was like the biggest moment of my life as far as like performance wise. But like, you know, why do you think someone like Locksmith doesn't blow up? Like him and Sahai the Prince and people like that of like, they go on a platform like Team Backpack and they just dominate it. Like it'll be the top verses of the year, both of them, every single time. Like it's nothing for them, it's easy. And there's dudes on Team Backpack who don't know that.
I think it has a lot to do with like not wanting to like really sell out on that mainstream, and like I think today a lot of people are really catching on to like signing that big major deal is not all it's cracked up to be. It's really like a responsibility, and you're signing up for debt really, because you're not really making a whole lot of shit off of that.
Well, now
It's
they
a
have
facade.
the whole 360 deals now, which are even worse because now the labels got their hand in everything. Before, you used to get a small percentage, like you get points, and they'd give you, like I remember back in the day, like an average artist would get like 3 points to 5 points, which means 3 to 5% of their total like net, and that's like that's garbage, dude. And
Unless you're Birdman.
That was a big, those are owners, but rappers or artists wouldn't make that kind of money. And then we got to a point where people like Eminem were getting like 10, 15 points, I heard, which is like, was like unheard of. And then nowadays you have artists that are like, screw it, I just want 50-50, you do my publishing. So like Russ got a publishing deal for 50-50, Birdman got a 50-50 publishing deal. So now artists are actually getting enough pull and power by themselves through YouTube that when they go to the label, they're like, hey, I don't really need you. So now if you want to give me half and split this shit, we can do that. But if not, then I'm not really interested. I can do this by myself. So it's a different world, there's a different game being played now than it was before. So I don't know. I think that people like Locke, personally, my own opinion on that is, for some reason, artists over a certain age just don't do well. It seems like even if they're really good, because I feel like people get better as they get older. So
I think
sometimes
he looks young though. I don't think he puts off that I'm an old rapper front. You know, like if you were to go to a show and you would see him, you wouldn't think, damn, why am I here watching it? I don't want to buy a ticket to watch this.
I see Locke as a 30-something-year-old man, though. For some reason, these kids just don't like that shit.
30 years old is like young as a rapper. When you think of like people who are in their 50s, look at E40.
But that's what I mean, though. Those people.
And he's still fucking selling shows all over the place.
Yeah, but he had a way bigger name than Locksmith ever did. Locksmith never got a name like that.
I'm just using like a 50-year-old man as an example still to this day.
And like Dre Dog was...
I was just going to say Andre Nicotina. He's 50 years old. He comes to Tacoma, sold out. He comes to Olympia, sold out.
But at one point, he was humongous on the West Coast. And so what I'm saying is Locke never established a name to live on when he's 50. They did. You see what I'm saying? Like they already had names, and now that they're established, they can still travel and do these things off of their names. Lin Chun is a big enough name to where you can drop his name now and people still know who he is. But Locksmith, for some reason, I feel like it's like, you know why Cannabis didn't make it?
I think he's hard-headed.
He's too good.
Like he's stuck to the fact that he was like, and Rascas too, and stuck to the fact that like, bro, I'm like good, and I'm not gonna bend or fold for anybody. I can do this shit on my own. I don't need a motherfucking label. No, you're emailing me. I don't need your motherfucking help.
I know it was a couple grand.
Maybe
hit him up for a verse because he does shit on his own. So yeah, I know he doesn't have a label or investor or anything like that. I know he just kind of tours and makes his own money. So, like, you know, much props to Locke. I know he just wants to hustle his own money and make it. I know he survives off rap. And to me, I guess if you're an artist, that's all you can ask for, really. You know,
yeah, I mean, especially as like a middle-aged guy.
He does fine, but someone of that caliber, I just wish he would have blew up. Like, I always wish Locke would have been the influence you hear on the radio. You know what I mean? That when kids will listen to radio every day,
absolutely.
Like, that's what they hear instead. You know, I've always wanted to know.
There's 100 of those rappers, but you can spit 50 of their names, and you know the listeners might know a couple of them because that's not what they're pushing. That's not what they're trying to have out there.
You know who another great rapper is? I hate to cut you off, but you know who another great rapper is that never gets any credit? Elzai.
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't he just have an album like a year ago?
Yeah,
and it was actually kind of fire.
Poison Pen came out like a year or two ago, and it was pretty sick. I had like 7 songs on or something, but it was dope. And the big thing about like Elzai is like he did that whole Nas, he redid the whole Nas album and Illmatic, and he killed it, dude. It was unbelievable.
I think AZ too.
He didn't get any credit for that. Yeah,
he's another guy who's been around a long time. People still will be like, who? But if you look, I mean, he's still... I mean, if you want to talk about relevancy...
Yeah, I don't even know if he raps anymore.
He put an album out about a year and a half, 2 years ago. The same time Elzai dropped an album, he dropped an album, and it was fire. So, I mean, I don't know. That guy, another talented, really good rapper that people will just overlook because... it doesn't talk about Bentleys, Beamers, and bitches.
So, I guess while we're on the subject, because we got to close this up pretty soon, but as far as like top 3, you never answered my question.
Well, neither did you. I gave you Ritz and Kendrick. I gave you 2 out of 3.
I'll answer after you. I've already been thinking about it. So you do yours, I'll do mine. But I asked you first.
Favorite or best?
Favorite. I don't even care. Or best.
Favorite.
No. See, that's
different.
Well, I know it is. That's why that's kind of a tough one. So, like, as far as like, who's the top 3 rappers right now? In your eyes.
I mean, this is just without putting any thought into it. I'm coming right out of the gates.
Top 3.
First pitch, I'm swinging away. Kendrick, Ritz, and King Los. Boom. deal with it.
Nah, I'm good with that, but I feel like you kind of took a cop-out answer on your first one. Alright, so let me think.
I explained why I said Kendrick, though. That he
So-
kind of has to be in there, but he's also before the whole fucking Pulitzer Prize, whatever, dude. I knew about him way before he was mainstream, and I liked him. And I remember telling you about him. Bro, check this dude out, the good kid from the ghetto. He was fucking fire, man, and like, he's still fire, even though he's like mainstream now. He still puts out fire. So like, and he's consistent. So, I mean, unless you can fuck with it, then fucking deal with it.
All right, so here's my thing. I have to put in my top 3. I'm not even gonna put them in order, but I would say I like King Los. I like Ritz also, and my third one's tough for me because there's reasons that I want to pick all 3 of these people. I feel like if I pick Royce, why wouldn't I pick Eminem? I feel like, how could I not pick either of them?
Mm-hmm.
Then I also felt like, well, if you're gonna pick Joyner Lucas, why wouldn't you pick Khan? Because my brain says Khan's a better rapper than Joyner Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
I know these people are like, what the hell?
Who the fuck is Khan?
But I feel like Joyner is more of a complete package because he'll put out these videos that are just unbelievably like phenomenal. His songwriting to me is like on a different level than every other rapper, so that's where he deserves his credit. Then you have Khan, who will rap to probably the same beat these guys do, but probably kill it more than they do. So Khan always deserves his credit, but I'm just off of relevancy and the fact that I'm all about like people that like change the game, that are innovative. Somebody's names like Timberland back in the day. I like Joyner Lucas because Joyner Lucas makes movies. Like they're unbelievably.
I can't be mad at that.
And incredible like concepts for his songs. Even the newest one with like the Text and the Driver, I thought was just great. I said, right when I thought the dude was out of ideas, he comes out.
I mean, I can't be mad at that. And
so King Los.
But the only reason, like I said, I didn't bring a few of these people up into conversation is because I don't want a fucking 100 comments on this video saying, who the fuck is that? Because now I gotta bring up the drawing board and I gotta school you hip hop heads on fucking hip hop. So, on that note, I'm still sticking with my solids, with my 3.
No, it's a good 3. It's a good 3. The only reason I said you copped out on Kendrick is I honestly believe most people you ask this question to are gonna say that.
Probably, but at the same time, could they say they were a fan of Kendrick before he was mainstream?
No, I remember we were in the kitchen at Frank's house when you told me about Kendrick Lamar. We were freestyling in the kitchen, and we were all faded. And I remember you saying, "Dude, you gotta hear this Kendrick Lamar kid from Compton. He's dope as shit."
I remember the first time that you actually listened to him. We were in the College Point crib, and we were drinking some fucking marijuana coffee from Casey Lee. And I was like, hey, it's time for you to listen to Kendrick. And you listened to a song, and you didn't really give me any feedback at that time. I remember I didn't get feedback from you for like, I don't know, like fucking a week and a half, 2 weeks, and you were like, that Kendrick guy is pretty good. And then the next thing you know, fucking boom!
Now he's
a fucking monster. So, I mean,
I just, I wish he wouldn't have signed with Jimmy Iovine and Interscope, just because, like, I feel like if he'd have gone to a couple of the labels, that he might have taken a different path. Because I'm not like a hater of Kendrick, and I think the guy's phenomenal, but I think at a certain point, Kendrick's starting to get too, like, political for me, and too mainstream, and so
it's definitely, excuse me, and it's definitely like a fan favorite for sure. Like it's the same thing like 2-3 years ago. Everybody be like Eminem. Even though he wasn't any more relevant as a rapper 2 years, 3 years ago as he is today. but just the weight that his name carries. I mean, fuck, man. If you want to debate, dude, I'm here.
It's the same reason, and this is what we were talking about when we took on. It's the same reason that everyone got pissed off when I said the shit about Biggie. Because everybody was like, I can't believe you would say that about an icon like Biggie. Now listen, I'm not the kind of dude to be like, yo, that's tight because he, she, and they like it. So. I don't really give a shit if they like it. Like, that doesn't do anything for me. Now, do I respect Big? Yeah, hella. Do I got a lot of love for the guy? Yeah, I do. But, man, come on. When I'm talking about, like, pop music and shiny suits and, like, Mace and Puffy, Biggie falls into that category just like everybody else. It wasn't for me. I really wasn't into the whole hypnotized, shiny suits, you know, more money, more problems, little movement that he was in. And I was more into Tupac. Tupac was dropping All Eyes on Me, the greatest double album of all time. And there was other stuff happening at that same time that I personally would rather listen to. So when people try and compare...
Like Mace and Puffy.
When I try and compare what Big was doing to that, I'm like, it's nothing against Big. I just don't see it. Like, it was a whole different poppy bubblegum movement against almost like a revolution that like Pac was starting, and I feel like there's not much of a comparison now.
I think it was an answer to Pac.
You know,
like they didn't want Pac to have all the shine.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want it to seem like I'm all over fucking Pac's junk or anything, but I feel like career-wise, he started first. Pac came first. And then Biggie kind of came out the cut when Pac was fucking at his peak. And that was supposed to be his competition, I feel like. And I feel like most of the, oh, he's the greatest of all time, is he was kind of like, for the East Coast, bro, he was kind of like the voice since he was the answer to West Coast's Pac, you know what I mean? That's why still to this day, both of them dudes is not with us anymore, but the West Coast and the East Coast will battle to this very day about who is better, Pac or Biggie.
Hey, no, it's crazy. Cause
all you fucking baristas and bud tenders out there, I'm gonna give you a little golden token. You wanna make tips? Put 2 tip jars out there, Biggie on one, Pac on the other. Who's better? That's your tip jar. Watch them fill up. But really? Tenders, the same thing. I made $100 in a day off of that helpful hint.
There you go. That's for y'all at home. That's your tip for the day. So anyway, I'm Fro.
I'm Slick.
And that's all we got today. But until next week, Friday at 7 o'clock, this is the Hourglass.
Don't forget, in the comment section, if you have any requests or ideas for the topics of the next show, we are entertaining all. So please, feel free.
Don't be shy.
Feel free.
Be shy. That's right. So, it was great to see y'all.
Again, I'm Slick.
I'm Fro. Peace out.